The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
As I understand it, you were born only a few months after Emmett Till's murder. What do you remember hearing about the story for the first time?
I probably didn't hear a lot about it, but I had an older brother who probably ended up going to visit family in Jacksonville or something, and hearing my mother's cautionary voice saying, remember what happened to Emmett Till, you don't want that to happen to you. So it's something parents of color have always had to deal with since it happened. And so they've always said to children, you don't want to find yourself in this position. And when you hear her say to him, when you're down there, just be small, And from that point forward, that's what we hear. That's what we're told. And that's what systemic racism does. It makes you tell your children to be not seen and not heard.
So much of the power of the story had to do with the pictures of Emmett's body when they were shown. Do you remember seeing the pictures for the first time and what impact that had on you?
I was a grown-up when I saw it, and I couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. And then somebody explained to me what I was looking at. And, it's the idea that this is what people did to children. I was 14 years old, he was a kid. And again, that's what systemic racism okays. It gives people the right to treat someone the way that they treated Emmett and to defile his body that way. But not so much that his mom couldn't find him in that body. His mother knew where he was in that body. And it's one of the more powerful scenes in the movie because it's unbelievable.
Jalen, I have to say, you did such a great job in what I think was a really difficult part, which is bringing to life Emmett Till, a boy who a lot of people only know through photographs. Tell me about that, sort of how you wanted to bring him to life, and because you're so full of life in the film.
When it comes to making films or doing projects that revolve around people who are human beings who actually existed, had their own aspirations and personality traits, learning about them from firsthand sources and, reading and all that type of stuff, it's crucial. But then you have the second part of it, which is literally just falling into who they were as people, which was very in a way easy for me because I saw a lot of myself in Emmett, the connection with his mother, the love for music and smiling and dancing and having fun and overall just being a kid. All of that love and pure-hearted love for his mom, pure-hearted love for his family, pure-hearted love for having fun. It was easy to give because I feel the same way. And in the aspects of fear or general confusion for the actions that he had done or what they had told him that he had done, that was easy too, because again, what 14-year-old, wouldn't feel this sort of way, wouldn't feel this fear, wouldn't feel this confusion, wouldn't feel this sense of, well, that wasn't my intention. So I feel like a lot of it was authentic, not only because of me reading and retaining information about him, but it genuinely just being a trait that we shared or a feeling that we shared.
The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead.
Can I at least just fix him up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
Danielle, for you playing that scene, it's such an intense scene and you played so well. Tell me what it was like to look at the body that was there for you and how it was taking it in as in doing that scene.
I just leaned on Mamie's words in her memoir. I think it's about 3 to 4 pages of her explaining in great detail what that experience was like. I didn't see the figure until the first take. And so, the reactions were weighted with her words and then weighted with the feeling that this is a body, a molded body. And I was comforted by the community of the cast and the crew that were there that day. That's the day that, you know, the camera department wore shirts and ties, which were, you know, symbolic of, you know, you're not alone. This is an honor to consider this time, to consider what this experience would have been like.
In terms of capturing the body, I was interested in terms of whether you used him, or it sounds like you used a mannequin. Tell me about making the body of Emmett afterwards, and the decision to sort of go with the mannequin, how you wanted it to present on film, since those photographs are so well known.
You know, my decision to show the body, you know, particularly in the viewing, is an extension of Mamie's decision, and honoring that decision, and doing so in a sparing yet effective way. And so we had the body made, and it was a molding of Jalen's body, and we were really intentional about every detail. And you know, it was a harrowing experience reading the autopsy reports and the FBI files so we can replicate what was done to his body, and it took a bit of time to get made, and but I mean, even the way that it felt was very natural. So it was a harrowing experience, but it was an important thing to be done.
When you see people trying to deny history or not talk about history, does that make you angry to see that insistence on denying this is part of our past?
You know, I find it's more annoying to me because you know better. You know, you grew up, you read your history, you know what happened. Why are you trying to deny? Are we all stupid? Are we all supposed to say, no, this didn't happen? We know. It's like Holocaust deniers. It's like, what are you talking about? You know? Or, you know, people who won elections, election deniers, you know? So hopefully this will help to solidify the fact that we actually do have a problem. And we're going to be in big trouble if we're not careful.